there's much excitement at this point. Why is there a table? This is. Oh, you see biscuits?
Yeah.
Do you want that?
No, not yet.
Seriously?
No, it's fine.
These are the best biscuits in the world.
Yeah.
You don't trust me?
Salt and light.
Salt and light. These biscuits, seriously. Some of you here may know a lady called Lisa Malty. Anybody know Lisa? No. Put your hand up, Jim.
Yeah.
You know Lisa made these for Messy Church. I brought them as a reward for people who are helping me out this morning. And you've been doing such a good job. Am I right? Lisa made these biscuits. I have had nothing to do with these biscuits.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Share it. A half each. Are they not the best biscuits ever? Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes you have to trust the preacher. I don't know. I haven't even started yet. My soul fits this one. Anybody hungry? Yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry. I'll take some eyes out. Come on, mate. You'll take your eyes out as well. Anybody? Yeah? I'm not frozen or something. I'm not doing well at throwing, am I? So you have a choice. Now you have to open them. Don't just put them down. Well, you've got a choice. You can either have them, whatever they want to. You can either have them as they are, or you can have the salt. So I'm interested to know what people do. If you're old like me, you'll remember, possibly, that you used to get plain crisps.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I used to buy plain crisps. Why did I buy plain crisps? Because they were cheaper. See, I've just picked the biggest crisp in the packet. Now, enjoy some crisps. Do you want to add the salt? Feel free to add the salt if you want to add the salt. Because who thinks they taste better with the salt? Who thinks they taste better with the salt? Yeah? A bit of salt makes them better. Oh, sorry, I didn't read you. See, you don't trust me. So, things genuinely can taste better with salt. Even if you're weird like me and actually like plain crisps. So, we've had two pictures in our reading this morning, haven't we? One about salt, one about light. Both trying to make the same point. So I'm making this really hard for you, Dave, aren't I?
It's fine.
Hi, anybody online? My apologies, I'm working really hard to just get Dave running around. If I really make this bad, then he's going to have to move the camera and everything. So, and that could be really exciting because the wires will go everywhere. I'd love to give you some crisps, but have a think. Which is better, with or without the salt? So, I'm going to try and make a bit of a link this morning between those two readings, between the salt and between the light. And I thought to myself, is it possible to make salt not salty? You know what I found? It won't make it not salty, you'll just end up with salty water, unless you use sort of 17 gallons of water, and then it will still be salty, it just won't be enough for you to be able to taste it. I thought, can I burn it? Can I electrocute it? Can I put it through the Large Hadron Collider and blast particles at it? Well, apparently it's really, really hard to make salt not salty, and basically the only way to make salt not salty is to turn it into something that isn't salt anymore. So my idea for an experiment didn't kind of work. So I had to come up with other ideas to try and get across a number of points about us, about what it's like for us in this world, and how we affect people, and how people affect us, and how it all sort of fits together. So I am going to need some help this morning, and I brought some rewards for those who help me. Even if they don't trust me, Hannah. But you can trust me now, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I brought a sieve. And I brought a bowl. And I was thinking, okay, what about when we have stuff? Imagine this sieve is us. And we have stuff and we want to share, or we want to effect it, or we want to make a change, or do something. So, who would like to come and help me first? Come on then. You want another biscuit, don't you? Yeah. See? They are good biscuits. Right. It's very simple. I just need you to get the pasta to go through the sieve for me. Can you do that? Can you say, I'll put some pasta in there. If you can just shake that through into the bowl, that'd be great. Try? Is that it? You could try that. Do you think that would work?
Get it small enough.
You get it small enough? Then you're going to break out sieve. Then I'll be in big trouble. Break it off a bit. No, that doesn't seem to be working. You know I did.
Boil it and then mash it through.
Boil it and mash it through, yeah, that would make a mess, wouldn't it? That'll go down well later with whoever's got to clean it. Do you want to wash it up? No. We know... Have your biscuit. Thank you very much, you may sit. We know lots of people in our lives. Big things, big people. Things close to us. The people we were thinking about earlier. Our friends, our families, work colleagues. People that enjoy the same hobbies as us. And we want to affect them. We want to try and make a change. We want them to be changed by Jesus. But sometimes those things can feel too big to fit through us, can't they? We can't do them in our own right. We can't be there and filter them through ourselves. They're just too big. We can help. We could boil it. We could mash it through. But would we end up with the same thing at the end? We wouldn't, would we? If we try and force people through our mould, through our idea, it doesn't work. There's only one person that can change them. And that's Jesus. And you know what? God says, don't worry that you can't change people. In fact, God says there's only one person in this world that's going to change people, and it's not you. The only person that changes people is God. Yeah? So don't worry if people won't fit to our mould. Sometimes we just got to let God do it His way. There's no significance in the plastic bowl. The plastic bowl is just to put things in that I don't need anymore. Right. Next. Who's up for helping this time? You've already had a go. You've had 2 biscuits as well. Do you want to come and help? Do you want to try and get something through my sieve for me? Yeah, fantastic. So it's very simple. Colour failed. So you're going to get this, aren't you? You can make this work. We need to get this rice to go through this sieve. Can you do that? Think that'll work? If I can open the packet, which I did it far too tightly so that it didn't leak. Tear a hole. Yeah, that's going to... Who cleans the church? Who gets the hoover out? Whoever it is will not be like me. John. Right, can you pour that rice into the sieve for me? Can you do that? Can you pour it in here? Don't worry if he makes a mess. John's going to hoover up. That's it. Oh, brilliant, well done. Right, now can you shape the sieve and get it to all go through for me? Is it not going through? No, you can't pour it out. It's got 50%. You can pour it in here in a minute if it doesn't go through. But it not work. Is that not going through? No, I can't see anything at all. Maybe, oh dear. Well, we talked about big people in our lives, didn't we? But do you know what? Sometimes the world feels like it's full of little people. People that we can't see, people that we can't name. How many people are there in the whole world? How many grains of rice did you pour in there for? Any guess? Maybe 1,000? 2,000? I've no idea. How many people are there?
Billions.
In this world? Billions. We don't know them all by name, do we? We could think of them as very small from our perspective. Too many, too big for us to have an impact on. In the same way as we thought about with the pasta, we could try and grind it down. I could bring the pestle and mortar, we could really grind it, couldn't we? Or we could turn it into rice flour. That would go through, wouldn't it? But would I be left with rice? Would I still have those people? Would I still have the uniqueness of those individuals? We can't fix it, can we? We can do our bit. We can be there. When I looked at this and I looked, can you just hold that sieve up for everybody to look at? Can you turn around and show it for everybody to see? Sometimes there are things we can do where we can hold people. We can hold things about the world. We can try to help. But we can't do it because who can do it? Jesus. We prayed this morning that people in this world, in the places where we see news about thousands and tens of thousands of people being affected, and we've prayed about some of those places. But we have to leave it at the foot of the cross. We have to leave it with Jesus. We have to ask the Father to intervene because we can't do it on our own. That is brilliant. Thank you very much. Do you want to pour that in there? Just to prove to people that there's no... I'm not doing anything special. That's it, well. Thank you very much. Let's try and get those bits out. Do you want your biscuit? Do you want to take one? Take one there as well. They really are the best business. Okay. I'll do it again. I need someone else to help me.
There's no more biscuits.
You think? You're busy, Dave.
I have been.
Another bag in here that I tied up really tight this morning. So I'm going to get someone else to undo it for me. We had some crisps earlier. Did you enjoy your crisps?
Yeah.
No.
With salt or without salt?
With salt.
With salt. Because the salt made a difference. Salt gets put in quite a lot of food, doesn't it? Fish and chips. Right, same plan now. If you can see if we can get the salt to go through the sieve. This is where it gets magic and the salt won't go through, isn't it? You make that. Oh. We are given salt. And through us, it can go through into the world. want you to miss out. You get a biscuit, but you get my special biscuit.
Oh no.
Because for the person that does what Jesus said and passes on the message, I placed the biscuit for you. You're very welcome. Enjoy. So you only need a small amount of salt, and it will go through a lot of food.
Yeah.
And that's what Jesus says that Christians are like. That we have the salt, and we can make such a difference to the taste of this world. How's the biscuit, Dave?
A bit salty.
Is it? You're enjoying it, Dave?
I was starting to taste it and I thought, is there salt in here? And then I thought, no, there is. There's salt in here. And it actually tastes saltier than the sweetness on top.
Got blood tests tomorrow, haven't you?
Do you know what, Dave? That biscuit is exactly the same as the biscuit that Connor's had two of.
Right. Got a lot of salt in.
Perhaps it's in the icing.
Scrape off the icing, just taste the icing.
Oh.
It's all salty.
Yep, the icing is salty.
Believe me, I tried it this morning, it's horrible.
Pretend it's chocolate, it's fine.
We can, as people, we can, as people, do as Jesus said, and we can add the salt. But there is a warning that I think is really important, that I want to capture this morning, and that is the message, the biscuit, the good bit that Lisa made. That's what was intended to be passed on. And if I try and add to it, if I try and embellish it in some way, if I try and change it, if I over-salt my biscuit, what happens to that message that was originally intended to be passed on?
It's lost.
It gets lost, and it leaves a horrible taste in your mouth. It is possible for us, with the best will in the world, with the best intent of the world in the world, to over-salt our message sometimes. To go too far in how we give our message. And I suppose for me, the thing that I bear in mind is, how did Jesus add salt to his world? What did he do? What did he say? How was he around people? I've preached on it once before here. The foundational passage of Scripture really for my feeling, for what we do at Lindbergh Road, is the Samaritan woman at the well. And Jesus sat there by the well, and when she came to the well, he said, "You're a sinner, you're an awful person. I have come that you may have life. You must listen to me, you must do what I say. Go forth and do not sin anymore." Did he? Is that what Jesus said? What would she have done? What taste would have been left in her mouth had Jesus said to her those words? And he could have said those words to her, perfectly legitimately. Because what came out in the conversation afterwards was, I'm trying to remember the details now. The man you're living with now is not your husband, you were with your husband, things like this. He could have said things to condemn her, but what did he do? He said, "Could you give me a drink of water?" That was all the salt that was needed. That was all the message he needed to give, and it all poured out of her to him. And he changed her life. And through her, he changed the life of the entire village. We need to salt the right amount in the right way. We mustn't oversalt our message. I've done my salt. As Church of England, there's got to be a candle somewhere, isn't there? I don't know if this candle's going to work very well at this point. It worked earlier when we tried it. It's not doing a lot of... It's slow. I should have lit it earlier, shouldn't I? I have a backup strategy. You see my light? Does my light travel through me? Even my very small candle light travels through my sieve. It travels through me. And what do people see? They see the light that is, well, effectively within the sieve at this point. The light within, the light of Jesus. If we turned off all the lights, and how many there are in here? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 strip lights and a few others, and it was dark. If I had only this candle lit, it would change the entire room. Wherever you were in this room, you would see the light of this candle. Even a very small amount of light completely changes the place that you're in. You know what? Not only does the light travel through us, the light even travels through the world. Travels absolutely everywhere. This world is not, God is not limited to this world. God is the God of the universe. God is infinite. God is everywhere. Even the world is not enough to contain our God. Even people far away can see God through us. So I talked about salt. I talked about salt flavouring food. We can think about that as God asking us to get out into this world and change the flavour of the world, change something of what the world feels like. But do it in the way that He said. Do it to His recipe. Do it in the way that He asks. It's His message, not ours. I talked about light. In church we talk about Jesus being the light of the world. It's Jesus' light that shines out from us. It gives people clarity of purpose. It gives people peace. It gives people comfort. It reassures them that things will be okay. It shows them where to go. Through it we see obstacles. We see ways around problems. It's that light of Jesus that He calls us to show to this world. Not to blind people's eyes, but to show them the way. It all comes from our acceptance of Jesus and our asking Him to be part of our lives. Then He fills us with His Spirit, and all that remains is for us to follow wherever He leads. And His Spirit will guide us and shine through us. And it really doesn't matter whether you're this big, or whether you're Dave's height. Each one of us is amazing. And each one of us, through the salt and the light that we are given, are big enough to change this world. A little video for us to watch.
We are the light of the world. And we are the salt of the earth. So be the flavor and be the healing. For once you were full of darkness, but now you have light from the Lord. So live as people of light. For this light within you produces only what is good and right and true. Maybe today you feel disorientated or in darkness, but just know that Jesus is the light in every situation. When you make Him part of your life, He will give you guidance, courage, and peace in every situation. Jesus stood and shouted to the crowds, "Anyone who is thirsty may come to me. Anyone who believes in me may come and drink. For the scriptures declare, rivers of living water will flow from his heart." So, drink of that living water and let the Spirit flow through you.